Hey there, everybody. Today I thought we'd talk a little bit about a topic I often get asked about, which is really comes down to culture in an organization, and how do I create a better culture? And at the same time, creating this better culture, how do I actually reduce the reliance in the business or the organization on any one key individual? And if you're the business owner, this is very relevant to you. How do I make the business less reliant on me? And in turn, create more value in the organization, as there's more people that can do this than just myself. When we think about culture and organization, we often see cultures that might have a certain level of disengagement, dissatisfaction, turnover, stress. These things that are really not so desirable. That's often when people start the conversation, when they start seeing these things creeping in. So when you think about these different things, oftentimes I'll ask the business owner or the top executives in the organization, do you think these things actually exist? And it's really interesting. Oftentimes their perspective is that the employees are happy, they're engaged, they're really there for the paycheck, and this other stuff, they think they're much more satisfied with their work, much more engaged than they actually are. When you actually do a little survey and start asking the questions, it starts to show its head. And that's the first step, is being brave and putting it out there and asking, well, what are you really thinking of the different employees in the organizations? What are you thinking? What do you think of this organization? It gives you a good start point. So when you're looking at this, that's all fine, Dave. You say, well, we've got this problem or this challenge to overcome. How do we make it better? And if you think about it, it's really taking a look at what do you need to get out of the organization, where do you want to get it to, and at the same time, how do you meet the needs of the different people working in the organization? I often ask a business owner, well, why did you get into this business? Was it just for the money? Because oftentimes I'll get the answer that, well, Dave, people are just satisfied if they get paid well. Okay, well, sure, getting paid well is important. But I'll often ask the business owner, well, why? What else is it about this business that you really enjoy? And quite often it's the satisfaction of a job well done, or taking care of customers, building the business, creating something. And then I'll ask the question, well, that's what drives you. What do you think about the employees? What do you think they think? I'll often sit back and say, started to see. So you're saying that the employees want to feel that they're part of this. And I say, yes. So how can we do this? Well, it really starts with what we call strategic planning, or creating a sense of organizational alignment where everyone's kind of pulling the boat in the same direction. And you can start off by answering the question, which is, why are you in this business, or why does this organization exist to start with? Once you have that, you can take some time to define, well, what is it that we're really doing? What is it that we actually do in the organization? With those two different things, you can start creating a vision for the future. What does success look like for this business or organization in the future? And it's a good idea at this point, once you kind of have a rough draft, I would say, as the senior team, to share it with some more people. Start getting some input. Start building a little bit of a buzz. Start creating that shared vision of the future. Once you have this, start teasing in a little bit further. What are the rules that we're going to put in place? What are the different values we're going to treasure and protect as an organization as we move forward? These become the rules to run the business towards this vision that you want to create. Once you have this done, now it's time to really take a step back and be honest with yourself, totally honest, and say, well, where are we right now? What does this organization look like? From here, you can start taking a look at saying, okay, which things do we need to tweak? What do we need to work on to start moving towards this vision? Once you have this done, and this step, by the way, is very important. Get as many people as involved as possible. I'm not talking about having teams of people that are 30, 40 people. That's just not effective. But small teams from a diverse area of the different business, and start really thinking about what are these things that we can do. Once you start seeing what these things are you can do, you might end up with a laundry list a mile long. Well, now it's time to shorten that. Pick a couple of things, really work on those few things that you can work on right now and that'll have the biggest impact in your business, and start moving forward. Lastly though, but probably most importantly, don't try to do this all yourself. We came back to the topic of how can I improve the culture and really reduce the reliance on any one individual in the business. It comes down to communication. Don't just come up with the way on the path forward yourself. Get your team involved. Get the other people involved. Let them be part of the solution, and you'd be amazed at the results you'll see. None of us are mushrooms out there. We really want to not be treated like mushrooms. So shine some light in and watch everybody grow. So does this, what we discussed today, does it resonate with you? If it does, I'd urge you to take a look at my website. Check it out. I've got all kinds of book links on there on the topic, different topics we talk about, all kinds of blogs, different things like that, some assessment tools you can utilize, as well as some things that I found to be very effective in not only helping me move my business and other organizations I work with forward, but also tools that I use personally to improve my life, hit my ideal business, and move